Hi everyone. Monday morning, following a very nice game, Eagles Atlanta. Eagles won 24-15, a game that I did not think that they were going to win. Judging by the last few weeks, up and down, I didn't think they'd be able to contain Jones. He didn't score a touchdown. He had some nice yards. He had 135 yards yesterday, which is more than the Eagles receivers had. Jordan Matthews had a couple catches. I think he had like six, something like that, for like 70 some yards. Agholor, you know, he's the only other one that got he had two receptions for a monstrous 7 yards, which was great because I made a bet with Jillian Mealy. She has been trying to will him to do something productive. And the bet was she had made a comment on Breakfast on Broad that he would have 100 yards receiving, taking a shot at that. I said I would buy her wine if that was the case. So she said 100 bottles of wine for 100 yards receiving. Um, by the second quarter, I felt relaxed that I didn't have to go out and buy 100 bottles of wine, which I would have just got probably a couple jugs of that cheap ass Carlo Rossi stuff and given that to her. But whatever. He made one nice catch going out on an out route. Slid made a nice catch. They said it wasn't a catch, but he caught it. And I think I put on Twitter, yeah, but the next one he'll probably drop, which he did. Um, it's just amazing why that guy's still on the roster, and it scares the hell out of me that the other guys aren't getting time. The practice guys, why they're still there? I mean, how bad are they if Agholor is still on the field? Treggs and DGB were on the field. I don't know the exact count. They didn't get one. They didn't get anything thrown to them. Um, Whatever. They used the tight ends a lot, which was nice. Talking to a couple guys who were at the game, I didn't go. I did hang out with the Fourth and Jawn crew tailgating, which I suggest everybody give it a shot and go down there with those guys. It's a lot of fun. Got to see E-Rock again. Met Gail, Nick, Classic Jeff was there. Mike Bennett, my boy Tommy, he was there. The lovely Miss Hoodrat, who's always she's crazy. Dawn Marie was there, and fellow mozzarella stick lover Melissa Stites was there. So it was cool hanging out with those guys. Oh, and Chad Chizzy too. I forgot. I got to meet him too for the first time. But yeah, it was a good time down there. So the Eagles held Atlanta to 15 points, which is pretty amazing considering they're offensive. They're an offensive powerhouse. Defense kind of sucks, but Eagles did enough there. Ryan Matthews seemed they gave him the ball a lot. Peterson was happy with the run game early. Had 109 yards rushing, which was nice. 2 touchdowns. Smallwood had 70 rushing yards, which is. It looks like he's going to be a nice, if they let Sproles go at the end of the year, if he even makes it to the end of the year for the amount of touches that he's been getting. But he's a nice little piece to slide in there. What's that? Jose Batista? Something to do with Jose Batista and the Mets. That would suck. I'd like him actually to come to the Phillies. I don't think they will do it, but it would be nice to see him come here. Plus, he follows me on Twitter, and I think that's pretty cool. Ertz had 6 catches for 55 yards. Selleck actually had a catch and yards after the catch, which was nice. I think Burton had one, maybe two. I think he did, and he dropped the ball, and then he ended up recovering it himself, so that was great. Sproles had 10 touches total. He had 8 receiving and 2 rushing. And I think with the 8 receiving, there were a lot of underplays with him, and I think that has to do with just Treggs being out on the field. I think they're starting to open it up a little bit, and they start to realize that underpass is there all day long. Now, you're not going to bust anything huge, but it's a first down. It's definitely a first down, especially with a team on third conversions where they were playing shit for a while. They had really good third down conversion numbers yesterday, so that's something they need to definitely work with. It would be nice to see. Jordan Matthews, I suspect, is probably going to get a fine for what he said. There were back-to-back calls, no calls, pass interference on Sproles on the one. I think turned him around, grabbed his right arm, held him down, spun him around, no call. Very next play, pass up the middle to Jordan Matthews, That's two T's. He's the receiver. He dropped the ball, but he ended up getting a head smacked right into his mask, which they said they had to replace his face mask because it was dented. No call there. I guess he should have laid on the field a little bit longer, act like a soccer player, I guess, and just lay there for another 5 minutes. Maybe they would have got a call. I don't know, but if you're gonna do all these ticky tack bullshit calls on quarterbacks, if you're breathing on them, if you're touching them, your hand just swipes his face mask, and that's 15-yard penalty. When a guy sticks his head down the crown of his helmet and just drills it right into somebody's face mask, and not get that call, it's bullshit, basically. You guys all seen it. It's ridiculous. So he's probably going to get fined because after the game he was talking to the media. He was by his locker, and he was saying that he doesn't know what the refs were watching. He thinks maybe they were thinking about going to Chickies and Pete's after the game, which he'll probably get fined for that. It would be nice to see if some of the PR people, Spadaro, I know you're an Eagles insider reporter, but you're a PR guy for them. If you would go down there and try to deflect some attention, and so these guys don't get fined, especially like McKelvin, because I don't care if he's cursing in there or whatever, but man, you can't even get a good audio clip out of the guy because he curses constantly. The NFL's probably going to fine him for that. I'd be surprised if they don't because they're a pain in the ass with everything. But whatever, Overall, it was a good game. It was nice to see the Eagles come back, up and back and forth with that game. They looked pretty good. Peterson really balanced out the runs. I think it was like 36-38, something like that. They did very well with time possession again. So it was nice to see. Eagles rested away. They got Seattle, which is always tough. Seattle seems to get away with a ton of hands on receivers. They're afraid to call anything against Sherman. So with the Eagles receiving core, I don't know, against those guys, I think Sproles is going to be getting a lot of touches again. I think they should definitely run the ball a lot, and try to get those underpasses and go with that. But with that secondary, man, they're nasty. But we'll see what happens with that. Seattle right now is a 4.5-point favorite. I can't see it going down. East Coast teams going out to Seattle, playing in Seattle. Seattle just coming off the Patriots game. I don't know. I mean, who you would kind of get up for that game definitely because it's in New England. It's a big game. Do you overlook the Eagles? I don't know. I mean, I don't think you get too big. That division over there sucks anyway. I mean, Arizona, it's just Arizona's up and down. Who knows what they're going to be doing? But I think Seattle, them being a favorite, I think everybody pretty much had this game as a loss. Ian Desmond rejected a $17.2 million offer from the Rangers. That's stupid. But whatever. All right, so I don't think Ian Desmond's that good anymore. Definitely $17 million. Come on. But yeah, playing in Seattle, getting the calls or not getting the calls that they get. You got Jordan Matthews. Okay, is he a number one? No. Is he getting paid number one money? Yes, which is kind of ridiculous because he's nowhere near number one. Any decent team with a receiving core, he's your three probably. Maybe a two. I doubt it, but most likely a three. Agholor, that guy, he can't get out of his own way. There's no way he's going to be able to get separation. DGB didn't get one play yesterday. Were they keeping him and unleashing him this week? I don't know, maybe. But even if he does catch the ball, he ain't going anywhere because he's not fast. He might be able to stiff arm a guy and carry him for 15 yards, but that's about it. The big thing, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle Wilson, how they can get to him. They seem to be going up the middle a lot. With their they don't really blitz that much, but their heavy rushers, come up the middle. So to get him out on a run, which he's pretty decent on the run, smack him around a little bit, obviously, be able to answer Graham, which I hate teams playing Eagles with decent tight ends because they always seem to be getting out loose. Which it's amazing because the Eagles can't seem to do that. They get burnt by tight ends, but yet they can't turn around and do it to some other team. Maybe they tried. Maybe Ertz just isn't that good. Selleck is Selleck at this point. Still serviceable though. But we'll see what happens there. I think Seattle will win this game. Looking at the schedule, they got Cincinnati again on the road. Eagles have Cincinnati on the road. Um, in Cincy. That's a hit or miss. They're up and down too. But I think the Eagles are going to win out at home. Green Bay, who knows what the hell's going on with that team? I mean, they're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Everybody strokes this dude. I don't know what his deal is. Looking at a couple of the games that I've got to see this year, he didn't look very effective. He's already bitching about the receivers and stuff like that, which I don't think is they're the problem. When you're underthrowing and overthrowing guys, he was dead on for so long, and guys would bail him out a little bit on some of those passes. They're not really doing it right now, so they got to fix that. Well, they don't have to fix it quite yet. Let them come here and get their ass kicked. That'd be nice. But you got Washington, the Giants, and Dallas still. Dallas's last game, they're probably going to be sitting people. Maybe Sanchez will be get the game that day to give everybody a break. I think they win that game. I think they beat the Giants, and I think they beat Washington at home. I think 9-7 for the final. Baltimore's a hit or miss. I mean, but they're up and down. Flacco's not. Their defense has taken a step back a little bit. I like to see if the Eagles can go into Baltimore and win that game, that would be fantastic because then that puts them up to about 10-6. It's not going to be the division, but they're right there in the thick of things with everybody. So a couple games here and there, and then you win those last three division games. You win those, they're right in it for a wild card spot. I don't think anybody's going to catch Dallas at this point. And that really sucked last night with Pittsburgh. Just shit in the bed there in the last drive. That really hurt. But Eagles kicked their ass, so that's pretty good though. But I'll probably do one later on in the week, see if this line changes at all. It might go up a little bit more with Seattle. I wouldn't doubt that at all. So enjoy your free coffee today. Have a great week. I'll talk to you guys later.